Hi there, I am Christina Joe. Thank you so much for joining me live. I am loving life, and I am here today to help bring you some ideas and concepts that will help you love the life that you are living. One of the things that I find that takes me away from loving my life so quickly is taking someone personally or taking something personally. Now, I can just be going along in the best of moods, flying high, feeling good. And then if I choose to take something the wrong way, wow, there is nothing that can take me out of loving life as quickly as taking something personally. And one of the biggest things that I want to talk about with regards to taking things personally is just simply that I am the one doing it. If I'm taking someone personally, I am the one doing it. Nobody is forcing me to take anything personally. And I am the one who is deciding that that is something to take personal. So there is a really great lesson. It's the second lesson out of the 365 lessons in A Course in Miracles. So it's right at the beginning of the workbook. And the lesson is, I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. Nobody can create meaning for me. I create meaning myself by choosing how to see something or how to hear something. So if I can understand that, it's very empowering. When I take things personally, it's very disempowering because I'm giving all my control away. It becomes very conditional. My state of happiness becomes conditional on someone else saying something the right way or saying the right thing at the right time. And if it is not done in just such a way, then it offends me. And if I choose to be offended, then that really is giving my power away because I can't control ever what anyone else does or says or what they mean. So interestingly enough, oftentimes when I take something personally or when something is taken personally, it isn't even meant that way. The person who said whatever they said or did whatever they did maybe didn't intend for it to be taken the way that it was taken. They maybe intended something totally different and it was received incorrectly. So it really is a choice how we receive things. And if we want to empower ourselves, we need to make sure that we know that we are the one receiving and we are in charge of how we receive the information that is given to us. Now, something that is super tricky for me is when someone takes me personally and I didn't mean it. And boy, can I take that personally, that someone took offense to something that I said when I didn't mean it. And then I'll get offended. Now, I'll talk about the complainer here. If you're complaining about the complainer, you're still complaining. So if you're taking offense to someone else taking you personally, you are still taking offense, which is taking it personally. So there's no way around that. We have to be very careful of where we are in the situation that's going on. So something that helps me, a few things that helps me to not take things personally is, first of all, be aware when those feelings come up and be very quick to notice that I'm taking something personally. Now, that has taken a lot of practice because I've been taking things personally my whole life. So to notice when I'm doing it and to become aware of it, that in itself is a practice and a process, and it does take some time, takes some diligence, some perseverance to become aware when that is happening. But once you get a hang of it, you'll start to notice it really quickly when it happens. And you notice it's just such a yucky feeling so quickly. It just does not feel good when you take something personally. And so that's an indication right there that you are out of alignment, because it's just not feeling good. So a few things that help me after I become aware that, yes, I have taken someone personally, and that is my issue, not their issue, because I cannot control, even if they, let's say they meant to say something that I would take personally. Maybe they even intended that I take it personally. I don't have to take that personally. I can choose to hear that in a different way, that I don't take offense to it. And so it really can be a little bit tricky to deal with these feelings of taking things personally. Understand where the comment is coming from. So if I feel my back get up over something that someone says, I said, okay, wait a minute, where did that come from? Who said it? What mood are they in? What have they got going on in their life? And did that really have anything to do with me? Or were they all just wrapped up in their own situation and I got caught up in it just as a bystander? Really has nothing to do with me. And so if I can understand that this has nothing to do with me, it's a little easier for it to just slide off and mean to not take it personally. Another thing that you can do is clarify. Just ask the person, what did you mean by that? And have them respond. Wait for their response. And maybe there was an intention, and just asking, what did you mean by that? Maybe we'll have that person sort of rethink how they said it and have it come across a little bit more in the way they meant it to come across. I know I have had things come out of my mouth and they come out sounding nowhere near the way I meant to say it. And as quickly as I can, I say, oh, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. And so, you can even alleviate someone else taking you personally just by clarifying what you mean. So ask what the person means, clarify what you mean if it didn't come out quite right. And then another thing that you can do is respond with a question. Say something very sort of general. I'm not sure quite how you meant that, but did you mean it like this? And when you open it up with a question, before you take offense, before you take it personally, if you can give the ball back to the other person and give them a chance to clarify on their own what it is they meant, that can really help to keep the lines of communication open. So again, understand that it really is a choice. I know it doesn't seem like a choice when things come out of other people's mouths, especially when you're pretty sure that they intended for it to be personal. It's really challenging not to take it personally. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm saying that when you are able to not take things personally, to not take offense, if you can be so solid in who you are that nothing that anybody says offends you, you have empowered yourself. And you are then setting the example to other people of how not to be offended. There is a lot of information out there these days that promotes being offended. It promotes being a victim. It promotes, these things hurt and you need to stop doing things that hurt me. Ultimately, we're never going to be able to have everybody behave in such a way that is what we feel appropriate. That's an impossible task. You have no control over other people and their behavior and what they say. The only thing you have control over is how you respond and what you say and how you receive things. And so the more you can clean up your feelings about it, the more you will notice in your world that there's really nothing in this world that is worth taking personally. There's too much in this world to love instead. I hope this has been helpful, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and nothing personal. Take care. Bye-bye.